Our last tutorial for Minecraft Hoplite covered the basics of the lobby, navigating the UI, and getting started in your very first match. And so today, we'll start just there, getting into the weeds of Hoplite by getting into the first match of the Civilization game mode, and teaching you everything you need to start playing, with an unexpected guest joining us. When you first join a game of Hoplite, the lobby will fill up with a maximum of 90 players. If at least 80 players have joined the lobby, the countdown starts and ticks down from 10 seconds to 0, marking the start of the game. Players are divided evenly into teams, representing each of the different Minecraft biomes, and spawn on top of a dragon high up in the sky. After a few seconds, you jump down off the dragon and parachute to the ground below, thus beginning the game. The first 15 minutes are dedicated to gathering resources, so using your descent to scope out caves, trees, and villages is your best strategy. The biome you land in affects what kind of structures spawn. For example, spawning in the jungle biome has a chance of spawning a jungle temple, the exact same kind that you would find in vanilla Minecraft, complete with traps, loot, and a bit of damage. If you haven't selected the miner class to give you a free pickaxe at the start of the game, you'll need to follow the classic Minecraft formula and get some wood to make a crafting table and your starter wood pickaxe. Next, it's time to head down to the caves below. Grabbing some coal for later and upgrading to a stone pick is ideal, as you'll want to mine exactly 3 pieces of iron ore. And some lapis never hurt for enchanting. With 3 pieces of raw iron, 2 coal, and 2 sticks, you can craft a smelter's pickaxe. Hoplite's unique items will be covered in a later tutorial, but in short, the smelter's pickaxe allows you to instantly smelt all blocks that you mine, such as this vein of iron ore we've come across. And the holiday season has even come to Hoplite, as mining ores give you a chance for a present to spawn in the block's place. Breaking the gift drops you a load of goodies to help during battle. The preparation phase should be spent going through the tunnels and caves, mining as many ores as you come across. And once the preparation phase starts to wind down, I usually pick around the 5-minute mark, it's time to return to the surface and get all your items and gear ready for combat. Unless you got insanely lucky with diamonds, you'll usually craft a set of iron armor. No helmet required, as the default helmet everyone spawns with counts as a diamond helmet and can't be enchanted. So it's the best you got. The enchanted compass all players get at the start lets you cycle between teammates and tells you their location and how far away they are from you. The new Santa compass points you in the direction of Santa for the holiday season, who's currently missing in action. Additional items like bows and arrows help. And if your teammate manages to defeat an enemy player who's AFK, picking up a new fancy hat never hurt anyone. Who said you can't fight in style? Like classic Minecraft, however, hunger is still an issue. So stocking up on food during the preparation phase is important, so making sure you don't have to have any pit stops or slowdowns during the actual combat. Hoplite's anvils are also just like vanilla Minecraft, and let you apply enchantment books to different items, such as armor or other weapons. In this case, I decided to go ahead and use this light anvil to attach an enchantment recipe to my bow, specifically a flame one. Once the preparation phase is over, a grace period of 60 seconds starts, where your team votes for a king. Each player can run as a king based on 4 different buffs. Some give additional health and golden apples, while others give out protection enchantments for your armor. The teammate with the most votes is crowned king, which is just a cosmetic change after you get those buffs. Some structures are unique to the holiday season, such as this gift structure, but don't be fooled by its treasures, as it can lead to a faulty floor and too many zombies down below. Oh, and during the preparation phase, all players have fire resistance. So, sorry to anyone who were hoping to ruin their teammate's day with an accidental lava bucket. Emphasis on accidental. Chests can spawn in these custom structures, but if you're not quick enough or you arrive too late, like I did here, they'll be as empty as you found them, and you'll have nothing to show for your travel to the land down under. Besides a bit of junk and items you can't really use in combat. These structures can even sometimes spawn within the natural cave systems down below. So if you try to climb up and fail like I do here in trying to escape, you can always just go ahead and mine out a wall and escape into the nearby cave system, giving you a nice and easy escape from an unfortunate situation. And if just like these zombies, you've spawned into this video from YouTube's recommended algorithm, consider subscribing. I'm looking to expand the channel in all sorts of different ways, so any amount of support shown is always noticed and always appreciated. But unlike me, some people aren't as lucky to find an escape route, and environmental hazards are still an issue. Dying to spiders or getting eliminated by falling are still threats in Hoplite just as they would be in vanilla Minecraft. So if you're ever climbing up and out of a cave, make sure you're climbing extra careful. Enchanting in Hoplite is exactly like vanilla, requiring an enchantment table and pieces of lapis to enchant whatever gear you want, from pieces of armor to different kinds of weapons. The end of the preparation phase brings the start of the combat phase, which hopefully after the prep phase, you're more than ready for. Once PvP is enabled, your team is now fighting and competing against every other team on the map. Use whatever advantages that you can to win in combat, from firing at your enemies with a flame bow to kiting them around in the snowy biome, hoping that they might get stuck in a pocket of deep snow and sink down below. While my team and I don't exactly have those kinds of benefits, as you can see from my repeated missed arrows, it's still a viable tactic, assuming you know how to aim. During the combat phase, the world borders also slowly shrink to make an ever smaller map as the combat goes on. And if you get defeated like I unfortunately do here, you're not completely out of the picture. When you first die and you get sent as a spectator, you're put off into the nether. But you can still always spectate the other members of your team. Simply use the compass in the inventory down below to instantly teleport to one of your teammates. Or you can use the buttons to leave this lobby entirely, or play another match of Hoplite. Good to note that portals don't work if you're dead. You can remain in the battle to continue to watch your teammates and slowly cheer on their surviving. This lets you freely fly around the map and watch prolonged archer fights between the teams. Plus, it's a good way to get used to the usual layout of Hoplite maps and the various structures and biomes that spawn within. While the maps are procedurally generated and each one is supposed to be random, knowing the general structure of them and how they work is definitely helping you out in future battles. So just because you die doesn't mean you lost. As you can see here, knowing the layout of this jungle temple certainly helped out the enemy team as they escaped into the lake below. So as they say, knowledge is power. Except for this king here. I'm not sure a tutorial can help him out. Legendary weapons and items will be covered in the next video, but in short, these items can give you and your teammates a competitive advantage, and you can often find them on the floor, dropped from other players' inventories, or maybe your teammates just happen to have an extra one. Should you and your team manage to survive the combat phase of a Minecraft Hoplite game, the final part of a match is the Deathmatch phase. The Deathmatch phase pits all surviving players and teams into one circular arena to determine who's the ultimate winner of the match. The countdown begins from 10 to 0, just like the start. And before you know it, the deathmatch begins. A large structure in the center of the arena contains loot chests to give you and your teammates one final boost to whoever manages to reach them first and might be able to take advantage of those extra items. But this strategy is fairly dangerous, given all the fighting that usually takes place between you, your teammates, and the other teams all around you. In addition to this main structure containing the loot chests, smaller structures and houses will dot this part of the arena and the entire circle around it. But the deathmatch phase starts and works just like the combat one did earlier. Each team seeks to eliminate all other players not on their teams, while an ever-increasingly small border shrinks, just like the original combat phase. This forces all the players to force ever closer to the center of the map, and ensures that you can't just go ahead and camp on the outer edges and make your enemy come to you. Everyone will eventually be coming to the center, whether they like it or not. The final deathmatch phase often resembles something of a NASCAR race, as everyone just runs around in circles in the edge of the arena, taking advantage of the world borders before they shrink, and trying to give their enemies a run for their money. Every lightning strike you hear in the distance is another player that gets struck down, making the deathmatch ever closer between less and less players. Some teams take advantage of the shrinking borders and will sometimes force enemy players into it, making sure they take that extra bit of damage in addition to all those swinging swords. The arena is usually littered with all sorts of webs and waters by the end, And once one team is the last one standing, and all their players have been eliminated, they're crowned the winners of a game of Hoplite. In the next tutorial, we'll go over the specific items and different weapons that are unique to Minecraft Hoplite, such as bows, swords, and other unique items that you can use to your advantage. Some will help you out in Deathmatch phase like here, while others are more basic and will help you get to this phase to begin with. But regardless, now you know how the combat phase of Minecraft Hoplite works, and you're ready to jump in for yourself.